What's poppin', y'all? It looks like Lil Baby, after having talked to Aiden Ross and said that he would be interested in fighting Akademiks, hopping in the ring with him, and after Akademiks was talking crazy and has been talking crazy about Lil Baby as of late, in response to Lil Baby's assistant attempting to slap him or swinging at him, it seems like this is not going to happen, and Aiden Ross would explain why.
So, obviously, when I went to Lil Baby, I thought, we can make this fight happen. I wanted to give him a real number, but 30 to 40 million for him, we can't do that right now. That's kind of what it's when you're Lil Baby, you're a rapper, you have cred, you can't blow that. And I came to him trying to be like, yo, I could probably get you that 30, but it's tough, and I can't do it. I wish I had the money to do it. I would pay for it, but I just think Lil Baby, he doesn't want to be on this internet. He doesn't want to fuck with it, so I just think he just doesn't want a piece to talk about it. And I'm gonna let that shit not talk about it because he got mad at me too. I'm not trying to create problems with anybody. I was trying to really make out of money.
So in this clip, this makes perfect sense. This is exactly what I thought. 40 million is a price that you are just not going to get paid. It's just not going to happen. Real fighters that have real fan bases that are at the top of the game, for them to get 40 million is insane. I mean, the Jake Paul fight, they were saying he got 90 million. I don't really know, but let's just say Jake Paul, who is one of the biggest influencers, one of the biggest draws, he has a huge deal. And Anthony Joshua, who was arguably the best fighter, heavyweight, for a period of time. I don't know about historically. I'm a casual. Let's just make that clear, because I know we got some boxing aficionados here. So I'm not going to pretend to know, I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, he was heavyweight champ for a while, right? I mean, he's like one of the best fighters. And that was a 50 million-ish fight. And that's on Netflix and everything. Dog, you're telling me Lil Baby and Akademiks are going to hop in there and going to get even 20, even 10? And that's why I said this wasn't going to happen. But we're going to get into why I said it wasn't going to happen in detail after I play a clip for you guys of Akademiks' response after hearing this situation. Because Akademiks was saying, oh, he'd fight Lil Baby for free.
Sold 34,000 the first week. How the hell you want 40 million, man? These niggas is delusional, man. Atlanta looking crazy right now, man. Full pocket full of hoes. This is crazy. How you ducking a fade with me? They want 40 million. The niggas acting like this is Jake. They acting like this is Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fighting. Cause somebody yo, have you seen this? Yo, this nigga can't be serious, bro. Bro, I wouldn't be even asking for that. And low key, yo, I'm gonna keep it a beam with you. I said whatever he get. I thought he was gonna be realistic. I thought Lebebe is on some like he's gangster. So I'm like, yo, I bet. What's up? Let's cause I'm telling you, he's like a scrawny drug guy. I'm like, I bet. Whatever he get, just give me half. Bro, this is not. You know what he did? Exactly what Blueface said Chopper was gonna do. Watch, he gonna outprice himself. Ain't you a hood nigga? Y'all should be fighting for fun. You squabble up just cuz. I'm the one that everybody says probably never had a fight. Okay, you're my first fight. You get to knock me out for all the that I taught before and will continue to talk till we squabble. The streets is going out sad, man. Streets is done, bro. Streets is done. I keep telling y'all, anytime these rappers start doing some weird shit, call them out for a squabble. Fuck all that, let's squabble. You know what they're gonna say? Well, call the right one out. Don't call out Blueface. Blueface down to squabble with you. This yo, anytime these little scrawny drug addicts start going whatever, just call them out for the squabble. They want no smoke, lactose intolerant. Jesus Christ, bro. I'd rather he would have just told Aiden like, yo, man, fuck that, and I ain't squabbling with no thing. I would have rather him say that he could still look tough, but given a number that is out, bro, you sold 34,000 records first week, fool. Who on earth would pay you $40 million? Wouldn't pay you $40 million to read an encyclopedia, and that would be the most challenging thing you could do. What is wrong with this? Yo, chat, come on, man. Streets is done, man. Streets is done. Yo, street turn down the face with nerds. Streets done, man. It's done, bro. This is done, man. Bring back King Von, man. Where the real tough rappers at, bro? Where the gangsters at, bro?
So, of course, Akademiks is talking about the same thing that happened in the Blueface and NLE Choppa situation where they just asked for a ridiculous amount of money for a fight to not happen. But I'm siding with Lil Baby here because think about this is an asymmetrical bet. Like Akademiks is taking on Lil Baby is like Adam 22 taking on Jason Love. Now, Adam 22, nobody thought he was going to win. I just thought that there was going to be some miracle that he wins. Just, when the most unbelievable thing happens in real life and you just think to yourself, is this really real life? How did this just happen? I thought one of those moments would happen, but it went exactly how we expected it to go, or exactly how everybody else but me expected it to go. But what our intuition tells us. And Adam 22, well, what's the risk for him? Him losing doesn't humiliate him. He's already done something that is like the most humiliating thing for most people, which is letting the guy like smash your girl on camera and, selling that. So you can't like go lower than that. So him getting beat up is just like, okay, whatever. And if he won, then that's no jumper, and Adam 22 would have immediately entered their second prime or third prime, depending on if you consider like the 2019 or 2020 era, I think it was, when people considered that like a second prime that they were going through. So that would have instantly brought him to a third prime, probably the second ranked prime. So the risk reward was there, especially for the money too. With Akademiks, if he loses to Lil Baby, what does he really lose? Nothing. His audience isn't harmed. He isn't made fun of. The people that watch him are like, yo, you gave us some good content. It is what it is. If he wins, now he gets to talk even more trash. It's just an asymmetrical upside for him. Whereas for a Lil Baby, this is an asymmetrical downside. If he wins, number one, rappers, especially at the top of the game, they're lazy. They don't work out. Polo G, though, he's gotten in great shape. So shout out to Polo G. But the majority of rappers at the top of the game, they're not really working out like that. Maybe like a Travis Scott, right? Like that guy's putting on great performances and he seems to be in good shape. But a Lil Baby, he's smoking. There's that drink. There's that perky. They're just indulging. They've got so much bread and it's a hard schedule. So he would have to sacrifice that. That's number one. And then he would have to try to get in shape. And then let's say that he wins. There's like, all right, dude, you beat up on Akademiks like some fat dude. Congratulations. Like you're in the streets. You're supposed to be tough. Although being in the streets and being a great fighter in the ring are two completely different things. It's just assumed that Lil Baby is tougher than Akademiks and Akademiks is soft. So Lil Baby should win. So at that point, you have to calculate it and say, well, if I lose, this will be the most humiliating thing ever. People that support me in the streets are going to be like, damn, man, that's a bad look. I don't know why he took that. So the money has to be such a high amount that it's worth taking that risk for a Lil Baby. And for a Lil Baby, Akademiks clowns him here and he says, oh, man, you were selling 34K. That's like 340K first week. Yeah, but when we look at what Lil Baby is getting booked for an occasion, right? Like what's he getting booked for? 500? I don't know. Has it gone down? Let's just say 250, right? Let's say Lil Baby's getting booked for 250K a show. 4 shows is an M. So what are you going to give him an M? That's 4 shows. And 4 shows is zero risk. He pulls up, does a walkthrough or whatever, does a performance, which he's used to doing, and that's that. And then the music catalog is also paying him. So what you really got to look through what he's earning or what his music is earning across his catalog. So what are all of his albums selling per week? And then however much of a percentage he gets from that. But then there's features. How much is he getting paid for features? So Lil Baby's making north of 50 M's a year, I would say. Like he's up a lot, especially during his prime. So I think the 40 million makes sense, but this is the problem. 40 million does not make sense for the business because they're like, well, nobody can make money off of this. So you get into this position where the amount that it would take for Lil Baby to be willing to take on this risk is so much higher than the amount that anyone is willing to pay, so the fight won't happen. That's why I can't get on Lil Baby's back for this. Pause. I just can't. And I understand why he made that. Like, well, why would he hop in the ring? However, an Akademiks should push this and he should continuously clown Lil Baby because, like I said, it benefits him. However, we are fair here, and we got to talk about Akademiks doing the same exact thing that Lil Baby did here. Because Akademiks was talking crazy about Blueface when they were beefing back in 2023. And initially, Akademiks was saying that he was calling out somebody else to a fight. I think it was Rosenberg or somebody. And then Blueface was like, all right, let's fade up. And then Blueface would tweet out, Ak is offering $5,000 to 10 people to take the fade for him. I must be the big bad wolf or something, because he was so gangsta for Lil Baby. And this is just so ironic because you could see Akademiks was calling out Lil Baby to a fade from pre-2023, pre-January 23. This is 3 years ago plus. And Blueface would post a comment section. It says, his own comment section bleeding because Ak just put your dukes up, bro. It will be over quick. And he's talking about like, put your hands up. And you've got these comment sections from Akademiks' own stream where they said he's sobered up and realized he don't want them problems. Damn, Ak, why you backpedaling now? Bruh, keep that same energy and go fight Blueface. And somebody said, I would actually pay to see this and I've never paid for a fight. And then somebody says, I truly believe Blueface will put Ak in a hospital and drinking through straws. First round KO. I F with Ak, but don't talk tough to anyone if you can't back it up. I'd respect you more if it was real. And a month later, Akademiks would tweet out and say, Blueface, let me just end this and say the obvious. Your chick is the prize. He's talking about Krishan Rock. Play your effing role and support her. Stop hating on her. Nobody trying to F her. They just around her like they were around you when you were hot. For clout, play the background. Be seen, not heard. And Blueface responds and says, Ak, you was wrong from jump. Thought her career was tombstone, self-proclaimed by you. Now she lit and you D-Rod. It's not a good look, bro. Because people really look to you for answers. But if I listened to you a year ago, it wouldn't be what it is today, bro. Don't quit your reporting job. And as we've seen, is Krishan lit? Let's be real here. Blueface went into jail, came out, and he's hotter than Krishan. And once Blueface went into jail, Krishan disappeared. So Akademiks was completely wrong about that. And it seemed like Krishan Rock was lit. It seemed like that. But this is the thing. If a chick is lit and popping whatever guy she gets with, he's going to blow up. Like that girl Ari, she was lit and popping. She left G Herbo or whatever. She turned up Moneybagg Yo. Or actually, if we're going to be fair, Megan Thee Stallion initially turned up Moneybagg Yo. But again, with Ari, help Moneybagg Yo. Whoever Ari is with, they get turned up. Whoever Krishan has been with, can you even name who Krishan's been with? Exactly. So if it was a random, they would have been turned up. Blueface comes out. He's popping again. We're talking about Blueface. So we care about Blueface as a personality a lot more than Krishan. And he was the guy that was running this show. And we even saw that because Blueface would take Jaden Alexis. He would give her a song. He would turn her up. That song turned into a hit. And then he dissed NLE Choppa and all that after that. So Akademiks was clearly completely wrong about this. But when it comes to the fade with Blueface, he ducked it. Because as we saw, Blueface said, my last fight, they paid me $180K. I'm not taking none less than that. And then Akademiks says, LMAO, no way. Because I think Happy Punch and Keemstar, who runs Happy Punch or is like on the board or something like that, they were trying to put this fight together. We didn't have Aiden Ross brand risk yet. And Akademiks says, I see why you trying to get in the ring with me. Boy, I wouldn't even look at the ring for less than $3 million. So here, Akademiks is doing exactly what he's saying Lil Baby is doing to him. Akademiks is saying, oh man, they paid you $180K. And I'm thinking that's the fight that Blueface did with Ed Matthews, which was a good fight. And Akademiks is saying, nah, I need 3 M's. So 3 M's to $180K. Meanwhile, Akademiks didn't say, yo, I need at least 3 M's for Lil Baby. He said he'd squabble Lil Baby up for free. And why is he saying that? Because he knows that he would win against he believes that he would win against Lil Baby. And he believes that he would 100% lose to Blueface. So he needs at least a guaranteed 3 M's to be willing to go in there and take the L. Kind of like the situation with Adam 22, where Adam believed that initially when he took the fight that he was going to lose, but then his coach gassed him up, I guess, and he believed like, damn, I could actually win, which is a great coach. Like that Kamensky guy, that to get him to believe that means that this guy's very, very confident. So I'm not going to be here and just clowning Lil Baby like everybody else. I don't think Lil Baby needs to take that fade unless like the money's right. And the money will never be right because nobody's ever going to pay that much. So this fight just won't happen. And it serves Akademiks best to keep hammering this and call Lil Baby soft and all of that for their beef. But I'm not going to do that because we saw Akademiks doing the same picking and choosing situation and Akademiks admits that he ducked the fade with Blueface later on, a year or two after they patched things up. So if Akademiks wasn't down to get in the ring with Blueface, and this is a different scenario because if Akademiks lost to Blueface, yeah, he's going to get made fun of, but Akademiks fans or people that watch Akademiks are like, yeah, we expect you to lose to Blueface. He's got hands like that. And he's bigger than, he's got like 6 inches of height on Akademiks. Akademiks is like 5'8". Blueface is 6'3". So that's 7 inches of height on Akademiks. And Blueface weighs a lot less. Well, now, it's different. But back then, Blueface weighed less than Akademiks. Akademiks was heavier back then. I think he was 280. So he had 120 plus pounds on Blueface, which is a lot. But, when you're fat as opposed to being in shape, that's how it is. But yeah, I'm kind of sad that this fight didn't happen with Akademiks and Lil Baby. It would have been very entertaining. But let's be real here. It was a fantasy. And I'm not going to be here clowning Lil Baby. That's not happening. Lil Baby, you made the right choice. You did the same exact thing Akademiks did. So it is hypocritical of him for him to be clowning you for it. But the majority of people aren't going to cross-reference these things. And it is what it is. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see you on the next one.